What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy, out here with this time another movie review. So, the last movie review I did was a couple months back where I did The Death of Superman. I thought it was a pretty good film. All intents and purposes, a little bit deviated from the source material slightly. But here we have Batman Hush, which does a lot. Well, not a lot of deviation, but it deviates in a very interesting way. This will be kind of spoiler-ish. It'll be kind of spoilerish. There'll be some spoilers, but let me just break it down for you. Um, and I'll give you what I really liked, maybe. Well, I'll give you what I liked. First of all, opening sequence was great. Great opening sequence, great action as well. Um, Batman is Batman doing his thing, kind of being well. If you've read the comic and the story of Batman Hush, then you kind of know what's going on. But the movie does a good well of kind of setting things up as you'd expect. Opening was great, fantastic, excellent as well. I said that the next thing before I delve into the characters, I'm going to give the cameos first. We see a cameo. All the cameos here were done well. Lady Shiva was done very extremely well. Amanda Waller was nice. Damien had a small cameo. He wasn't in this film much, but it was enjoyable. His voice actor is getting older. Lex Luthor is here as well, and he does make a great cameo and does offer a little bit of continuity from what happened in The Reign of Superman in the last movie as well. So cameos were nice as well. Another thing that was great were the fight scenes. There were some spectacular fight scenes, and I think there's some spectacular fight scenes. I mean, you have, of course, Batman versus Bane. You have Superman, of course, and Bat versus Batman. If you've watched if you've read the comic, you know why they fight as well. Fight scenes were just spectacular. Catwoman's fight scenes were great. Very good, very nice, very excellent. What really works for this film, of course, are the characters that they really focused on. I thought that Poison Ivy, who's like the first major villain in this story to appear, she's done spectacularly well. I'll say this, and I'll say it often: she's so much of a better character when she's not tied to the hip of Harley, and Harley not tied to her, and vice versa. They make a couple of things. They make a couple of changes, of course. They seem to swap out Huntress's parts in this film. Well, not really parts, but just her appearances for Nightwing. And he works well. I forgot to mention Nightwing does a very good job, but I really like Poison Ivy. She was very powerful. She had very great command of everything and done spectacularly well. Then, of course, I forgot Batgirl makes an appearance, and she was good in a dose, and they gave her the Hope Larson suit, but she was just there, fought with Catwoman, saved Bruce in one scene, and then you don't see her again. That's okay, but that's her first appearance in this type of DC animated movie universe since her last shot in Batman Bad Blood. So it's been a couple of years, I think 5 years or so. Yeah, about 5 years since her last actual animated appearance. So it wasn't bad. Then we get into, I forgot Waller was in this film, and they do another bit of continuity where, they still mention the Suicide Squad. And it would seem then that in this movie, Harley has left the Suicide Squad because, of course, they guaranteed all of their freedom for a card. But I guess she was that forgiven because Deadshot, kind of used the card for Bronze Tiger, and he went to heaven, and I guess she's been cured of cancer. But of course, there's a whole comic series based on that, but I'll need to get into that. Batman, Bruce was great. Harley was nice. Of course, and the same thing I said about Poison Ivy, I'll say about Harley. So much better when they're not tied to the hip. But she pretty much carried out her part as she did in the comic book story. And the Joker was an interesting they did an interesting voice actor for him, Jason Spisak, who of course did Kid Flash and Young Justice. He did a lot of stuff in the Clone Wars as well. So his Joker wasn't bad. It was okay. It was an interesting voiceover. I think the laugh was pretty nice. That's just me. So what really takes this movie is the interactions between Batman and Catwoman. You know, they're going through the. We all know the usual dance of Batman and Catwoman, and this is it. And even how they end their relationship in this movie, which they do based on philosophical differences, is so much more well done than what we got with Tom King. Um, the Batman's not miserable, and Catwoman doesn't leave because hey, I'm just gonna leave. Like she's heartbroken about it, and he heartbroken about it, but they both realize that he has like a mission and he has a code, and that if there's ever a chance I can save somebody, I'm gonna save it. So the movie progresses as it usually does. Hush is messing with Batman, everything like that, save for a few characters. The comic, as you read the comic, so as the movie goes, if you've read Batman Hush. But what's interesting is that, notice how I haven't mentioned Thomas Elliot. He is in this film, but the big thing and the biggest reveal is that he really isn't that much of a factor. He isn't that much of a factor in this film at all. I mean, he makes his usual appearances, and even then, I thought, oh, we're going to see the Thomas Elliot reveal, but then they get you, and it was such a great reveal as well. Turns out that Hush is really the Riddler, and it's and I mentioned Lady Shiva's cat cameo apparently because of what had happened with Talia al Ghul and Black Bud. She is um, kind of confirmed dead. We don't know, but because of her death, there've been factions of the League of Assassins, and then there's somebody who's been using a Lazarus pit that they don't know who. And Batman said he'd look into it. It turns out that the Riddler was the one using the Lazarus pit because he had this incurable brain tumor. He had this incurable brain tumor, pretty much. And with that, he went to Thomas Elliot to perform surgery on him. It failed. He got jealous. And when he went into the Lazarus pit, he gained this intelligence and, of course, strength, realized that Batman was Bruce Wayne, and went on to make him suffer. So he started attacking his loved ones. And he was the one who killed Thomas Elliot, not Thomas Elliot faking his death. It still had everything from the iconic scene of Joker, with the bang gun saying that it's not him and everything like that. And the fight scene at the end is very good. Also, was very good. And we see that at the end scene, what really causes Bruce and Selina to kind of go their separate ways was that, Bruce was trying to save the whole building was coming down, everything was about to explode, and Bruce wanted to save the Riddler because, he's Batman and he feels like he has a chance if Batman doesn't kill. And even Riddler acknowledges that, saying, like, wait, you're Batman, you're not gonna let me die. And as he's trying to, pull him up from this like ledge, Selina realizes that the whole place is gonna blow up. So she's like, you know what? In her words, screw this, cuts the line, and she inadvertently killed, not inadvertently, she basically killed the Riddler. And they go, and then she realizes, like, and Batman says, he shouldn't have died. And Selina's like, you're insane. You're actually going to, like, he he killed your best friend, he tried killing Nightwing, he tried killing me, he tried almost killed you, and this is how you want to do it. And he's like saying, if there's always a chance somebody can be saved, I have to try. And Selena's like, wow, yeah, you do. And so they go their separate ways out of that. Um, Once again, this is how you do a remake. This is how you do a reboot. I admit that I didn't see that twist coming with the Riddler. I didn't think that he was going to be Hush, but lo and behold, he becomes Hush, and the Riddler is actually very much of a badass villain. Thinking about it, he could, if you wanted to remake a book about Hush, I could totally see how you could do the Riddler. But I guess the only thing I didn't like was maybe that I really wish they had Thomas Elliot in it. I kind of didn't like the fact that he was kind of brushed aside, but that's neither here nor there. Um, this is how you once again this is how you reboot a remake. You respect the lore a lot, very much, and then add a little bit of a twist to it. And that is what makes a movie great and grand. This is in my top three um, of DC animated universes. Of course, I definitely would put Flashpoint above this, and you know what? This might be the number two. But yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, Superman and Lois are in this as well. They have good cameos too, but that's it. So I recommend you get this movie, watch this movie. If you want to watch, if you feel in the mood for watching a reboot, instead of The Lion King, watch yourself a little bit of Batman Hush, because there's action, the people are cool, everything is nice, the characters are the characters, and the film is great. So yeah, I give this a good 9/10. I think it's that good. I definitely recommend. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss good nerd content and get your views on them. Thank y'all for watching, and I should have more reviews of any type when I can. Peace, and don't mind the song. We're getting something done in the house. Peace.